said we're live, but we didn't this time, so it's a big win. I've got something very special for you guys today, and I'm not alone. That's right, I am joined by the lovely Patrick himself, aka P-Dons. Say hello.
What's up, Anime Club? How's everyone doing?
Yay! If you guys didn't know, Patrick is a member of my front office, so we thought it would be a really fun idea. You guys know me, during game day, I get really nervous, and so I don't always tell you everything that goes into our sets that we bring every single week. So Patrick was nice enough to take some time, and we're just gonna talk about our thought process going through this team. You know, Patrick came up with some really good calcs, and so we're just gonna talk about everything. Also, our matchup for a bit, and I hope you guys enjoy. Remember to like, subscribe, all that sort of jazz, and hopefully this video will be going up right before the battle. So our battle for week 4 is going to be going up on Sunday, so get excited for that. So Patrick, are you ready to talk about this team?
Absolutely, Steph.
Oh, it's going to be great. So to get us started here, I actually pulled up our matchup so we could take a look here. Now, I'm actually a little bit nervous for week 4 because while we have a really awesome team, Dragapult Terrakion is really scary. We learned from last week against Moxie, beat up strategies are definitely not something to be ignored. Also, while Cinderace has that gorgeous 119 speed, look at that Dragapult. That Dragapult just had to come in here and be faster than our Cinderace. So Hatterene also being the slowest mon and slows all of our Pokemon, and then Dragapult being the fastest, it's a little bit of a problem for us. So Patrick, what are your thoughts immediately when you see Randolph's team? What are you thinking?
So when I was taking a look at this team, I realized the Dragapult and the Hatterene essentially sandwiched us.
Yeah.
By sandwich, I mean he's got the slowest mon, which is underspeeding even Snorlax, and he's got the fastest mon, which is even outspeeding Cinderace.
Right.
So we need to come up with some sort of dynamic strategy that can get us out of this sticky situation.
Yeah, absolutely. So, do you think we should talk about what we decide to go ahead and bring to kind of deal with some of these mons?
Let's get to it, Steph.
So we're going to drop this here. So the lovely Pokemon we have decided to bring, we've got Cinderace, Riolu. They've got to come pretty much every game, right? They're our dynamic duo. We've got Cinderace, Riolu, Tangula, Kangaskhan, Carbonite, and Snorlax. Now, I'll just tell you guys right off the bat, you'll notice here, Rabambi didn't come to this game. Now, Rabambi is a great support Pokemon, but I've kind of made it a bit of a rule for myself. I don't want to too heavily rely on the support mon. So with bringing Snorlax this week, I was like, Steph, you are going to make sure you don't overdo it with the support Pokemon, because I'm still kicking myself from battling Kyle, where if I just brought Rhydon that game 3, I think I would have been in such a good position, but I overthought it, and I was like, oh, maybe Rabambi could be really cool. And so definitely having a lot of bulky Pokemon in the back, I think is going to do really well for us. So Patrick, you want to run through some of these really cool texts that we've got on some of these mons for us?
Sure. Well, as for the Cinderace,
yeah,
we EV'd it to outspeed both his Terrakion and his Heliolisk. If we get a coaching boost and he's running a typical 252 for Terrakion, the +1 max Steel Spike will one-shot the Terrakion.
That's so good.
Yeah. If we do a coaching boost onto the Cinderace and we do Max Darkness onto the Dragapult has a pretty good chance of going down as well. So Cinderace has the ability to take out 2 of Randolph's big offensive threats. Also, if you notice the item, it's not Life Orb. It's
ding,
Safety
ding,
Goggles. One of the reasons we are doing this is because the Volcarona gets Rage Powder, which can mess up our plans with Cinderace. Like, we really want to attack a Terrakion, not a Volcarona.
Yeah.
But also, we were watching back some of Randolph's previous matches, and he was able to win Game 3 against Sierra using a Dragapult Volcarona lead. Now, how do we beat a lead like that if the Volcarona is just going to be rage powdering all the attacks away from Dragapult while it gets Dragon Dances up? Simple. ignore the Rage Powder and give the Cinderace safety goggles.
Yes, and it's so funny because, you know, coming out of week 3 against Moxie, part of me was kicking myself because it was my call week 3 to be like, I want safety goggles over Life Orb because that Venusaur, like, I'm scared of Venusaur. And then what happened? He didn't bring the gosh darn Venusaur. So while I was kicking myself for week 3, I genuinely think for the Volcarona, the safety goggles is going to be a great call. And hopefully it'll see the work this week is what I'm hoping. So next up, we've got our Riolu. We decided to run Focus Sash with our Riolu. We actually put Faint, Coaching, Copycat, Helping Hand. We almost ran Detect, but you guys know me. If I have an excuse to not run Protect, I'm like, I want to use this move instead. So, Patrick, you want to tell us a little bit more about the EV spread and kind of some of our thought process going through this?
Sure. The Riolu is just a 252 HP, 252 speed, naive nature Riolu. The reason we went naive is because Riolu is not going to be taking a lot of physical attacks. A lot of special attacks. So we can afford to reduce the special defense a little bit. With Copycat, sometimes Steph might copy a special attack. Sometimes Steph might copy a physical attack. Besides the possibility of reversing Trick Room, of course.
Right. There was a great time in practice, right? Where didn't I get to like Heat Wave? There just have been some moments in practice where Copycat is just a fun surprise and does the little bit of damage that I need. So I kind of like keeping it on for right now.
Yeah, you Rock Slide flinched me with Copycat.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Oh, so good.
Yeah, so we figured we can give up the special defense this week since Riolu's not really going to need it too much. The spread also allows the Riolu to take two Terrakion Life Orb Rock Slides and still be around to do another turn. It's 3-shotted by that attack. Also, we gave up the tech this week for Helping Hand to keep some of the offensive calcs with the Cinderace that we need. For example, if Randolph were to lead Thwackey plus Babiri Berry Hatterene, he could fake out the Riolu, stop the coaching boost, and get a Trick Room up.
Right.
But with Helping Hand, we essentially get the coaching boost for that turn. It can't be faked out, and Max Steel Spike with the Helping Hand or coaching boost has an 81% chance to KO a Babiri Berry Hatterene.
RNG, please be on our side, please. That would be so awesome. I'm hoping that that's what happens during the actual battle. Yeah, I love this Riolu. Honestly, coaching Riolu has given me this whole new love for Riolu that I didn't know I had. Also, before we continue on, very important, fret not, my friends. I haven't nicknamed the Pokemon yet, but there will be an anime theme this week. I just, as we're recording this, I haven't decided which anime I want to base everybody on, but you guys will see soon. So that'll be a fun surprise for Sunday. So next up, we've got the lovely Tangula. So our Tangula is Chlorophyll. It's running the Eviolite, and we're rocking Leaf Storm, Protect, Sleep Powder, and Rage Powder. I think Rage Powder speaks for itself. It's some redirection. We do have to be very careful if any of his Pokemon are running safety goggles, just like our Cinderace is. Unfortunately, that's the one problem that we've got, right, with Rage Powder. So we've got Rage Powder, we've got the Sleep Powder, and you want to talk about why we ran Leaf Storm over Knockoff?
Sure. While it's useful for knocking off some items like, I don't know, Thick Club, the Berry, Life Orb, maybe even a weakness policy, the fact of the matter is Tangula still hits very hard without a lot of investment.
Right.
For example, Leaf Storm on a typical 252 4 Terrakion has an 81.3% chance to one-shot with just 4 special attack EVs.
Wow. That's kind of crazy.
Even if he brings Slowbro, which is a really bulky Pokemon, the Tangula still has about a 20% chance to one-shot with Leaf Storm, meaning if it takes any additional chip damage, it could go down before Trick Room even happens.
Wow. That is so awesome.
Also, we ran 220 speed on the Tangula this week because if we get a Tailwind up or we get the sun up with chlorophyll, it will outspeed Randolph's Dragapult.
Hey.
Yeah. We then put 252 into special defense. If any VGC players watching this have played in the past, you'll know that Kartana used to invest a lot in its special defense because you could get a lot more value out of putting those EVs into that stat than, like, say, the attack stat of Kartana. We did the same principle here with the Tangula. So by doing that, we were able to get ourselves to survive Volcarona's heat wave most of the time.
Hopefully RNG will be on our side. Yeah, honestly, that is so genius. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Next up, I'm really excited for this one. We're running a scrappy Kangaskhan. That's right, friends. We are the only person in this draft, if I remember correctly, who can fake out a ghost type Pokemon. Is that correct? I think that's what you've told me once before.
Yes, it is. Kangaskhan is the only scrappy fake outer left in Pokemon Sword and Shield at the moment, and we've got it.
Oh, and I so hope we can get some use out of it this week because it came in really clutch. Not just the fake out, but we can double edge a ghost type. Oh, it's so nice. Also, to circle, yeah, we could also circle throw, and we've got a lot of spicy stuff going on with this Kang. Anything notable you want to talk about our lovely little Kangaskhan here?
Yes, it has a pretty complex EV spread. The EV spread was 84 HP, 220 attack, 100 defense, 32 special D, and 68 speed. There was 4 left over, so we just threw it into special attack for the beans.
Yeah.
The reason it is this complex is the speed EVs puts Kangaskhan at 119 speed. If Steph is forced to Dynamax her Kang, she can max strike, and after the max strike, she will have her Kang will be faster than both Terrakion and Heliolisk.
That's huge.
From there, the next turn, she can then go max Quake to finish off that mon.
So good.
Yeah. Kang also hits some specific defensive calcs with that. The 84 HP, 100 defense Kang allows it to survive a max Wormwind from a Life Orb, Adamant Life Orb Dragapult 100% of the time. With the Chopal Berry, the Kang also survives a Adamant Life Orb close combat from Terrakion. And longtime VGC players will recognize that the Kang has 84 HP EVs, aka a 191 speed stat. That's essentially 16N minus 1, which in layman's terms, you're taking 1 HP point less of damage from Sandstorm with a HP value of 191.
That's so crazy.
So if Terrakion sets up the Sandstorm from Max Rockfall for, I don't know, maybe the Corviknight gets Rockfalled or something, Kang will take 1 less point of sand damage than it would if it had 192 or more HP or 192 or more HP stat.
That is something that I absolutely love that you can calculate. Like, you can calculate sand damage to be less if you really know your way around damage calcs. And so I appreciate you for that, Patrick, because that blows my mind that you know how to do that when it comes to calking. So that's just incredible.
Yeah, this game is fascinating sometimes, Steph.
Oh my
God.
Much
math.
I've been learning so much, and I'm still very scared to calc a lot myself. Guys, seriously, shout out to Patrick, who's helped me a lot on the calking side. I know a lot of you guys in the comments have been like, Steph, you should damage calc mid-battle, like it might help, and I'll get there. I just don't think I'm there yet. I think right now I'm worrying about not timing out, and making my decisions on time. But I definitely want to get to a point where I can start making some of these calculations myself. And so, seriously, also, if I haven't mentioned it once before, guys, Patrick is on YouTube and on Twitch. Please go check out Patrick. Patrick is incredible, very knowledgeable about the VGC game, so you can come and ask him any sort of questions. You have anything else you want to promote while we're just in the middle here before we continue on?
Well, there was. You've already mentioned my Twitch. You've already mentioned my YouTube. At some point, I'm probably going to start some sort of battle spot series
Ooh.
with Steph's WBE team. In order to help her win in WBE, I need to know these mons inside and out, and I basically want to do that to help her win. So, despite the fact that Cinderace is going to be banned in Series 6, I can't do anything about that, but I should be producing that content soon, so look out for that on my YouTube and my Twitch.
Oh, that's awesome. I can imagine the title right now. Why Reboot is a threat. Perfect. Where are we on this team builder? It looks like next up we've got Carbonite, and sadly, there is no attract this week. Honestly, I don't know if we're ever gonna run attract again. Maybe, who knows? But after last week, you know, I made a big meme out of it. So we're just gonna ride that high from week 3 that we got an attract off on a Dynamax Mudsdale. Let's talk about what we've got going on with this Corviknight, Patrick. What do you want to tell the lovely friendos at home what's going on?
Sure. This Corviknight is going to be important for us because it is our only source of tailwind.
Mm-hmm.
Most of our mons, the Corviknight, the Tangula, the Kang to a certain extent, are EV'd to hit certain speed numbers. This Corviknight is at 107 speed, and Dragapult's max speed is 213.
Mm-hmm.
With Tailwind, Corviknight will outspeed Dragapult by 1.
Wow.
Yeah, so it needs the 156 speed EVs in order to do that. So we went with that. Also, he has a lot of physical threats: Dragapult, Terrakion, Marowak, and we kind of figured that Corviknight's going to die to Magnezone anyway, so we're not too worried about that side.
Mm-hmm.
So we went Impish and 252 defense to max out its highest stat.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Also, we only have 4 attack EVs, but they do get the job done. A Brave Bird still one-shots a 4 HP Volcarona. It's still doing at least 60% to an Eviolite Thwackey. Let's see what else. Ironhead is still two-shotting Terrakion.
Let's
But
go.
yeah, but with the defensive EVs, we were able to, besides all the defense, we were able to invest a little bit in special defense as well.
Mm-hmm.
So this Corviknight can take a few pretty big attacks. Like, for example, Max Phantasm from an Adamant Life Orb Dragapult, it's doing 59.3 to 70.6. So something Steph could actually go for at the cost of her own Corviknight would be to take the Phantasm, roost off that damage, take the Phantasm again, roost off that damage, and then take the Phantasm again, which should KO the Corviknight, but it will take out Randolph's Dynamax at the cost of her own Corviknight. I would only do that if you're desperate, Steph, but it is an option.
Yeah.
If Randolph surprises us with a choice specs Dragapult, this Corviknight takes a 252 modest flamethrower from Dragapult.
Wow.
It also takes a +4 Rock Slide from Terrakion.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one more good thing. If he brings a modest Volcarona, it takes a 252 special attack Heat Wave from the Volcarona.
That is amazing. Oh, Cal, it's so awesome that really the way that you choose to spread your EVs, it makes all of the difference. So to go with that more defensive set like that, oh, it's so nice. Oh, Corviknight, I hope you put in the work for us this week. Yeah, you know, you had your spotlight last week, but this week I think Corviknight will be very, very helpful. We also did a lot of testing, and, you know, rather than body press, we said, you know what, Ironhead, I think we'll get a little bit more out of it, especially if the Hatterene ends up coming. Just having another user with some steel type moves aside from Cinderace, which is obviously the best steel type in the game. It would be good to have some extra help there. So
yep.
And
I would I forgot to point out the item as well.
Ooh, yes.
We did figure that Corviknight was not going to beat Magnezone, but if it gets up a Tailwind before it goes down, that would be great. So we gave it the Wakan Berry to at least give it a shot to survive one of Magnezone's attacks.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, let's go to
let's
our...
talk Snorlax.
Let's talk about Snorlax. So we're running a Gluttony Snorlax, holding a nice little Figgy Berry, and you'll notice we're running a Double Edge, Darkest Lariat, Protect, and Belly Drum. That's right. If the opportunity presents itself, we might be able to set up a beefy Snorlax. All right, Patrick, handing the mic over to you. What do you want to talk about with this little Snorlax here?
Okay, so this Snorlax has a 244 HP.
Mm-hmm.
It's important for Snorlax to have an even number, because if it has an odd number, it will not get the Gluttony boost.
Mm-hmm.
So the berry won't activate even though you have Gluttony. So with 266 HP, which is a 244 HP EVs, if we Belly Drum, we drop down to 133, which is exactly 50%, which then triggers our Figgy Berry, and we get a lot of it back. From there, we put 252 in defense because we're using the same principle we did with a Tangula and its special defense,
Mm-hmm.
and we're boosting Snorlax's like weaker defense, and then we put the remaining 12 in attack, but then we also gave it an adamant nature, so we could boost the attack a little bit more. We figure that if we're going to be at +6 or +5 after Warmorn or something, we don't need to invest that much in attack on its own.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be belly drumming anyway and getting the attack up. And yeah, +6 Snorlax KOs a lot of things.
Yeah.
The +6 Snorlax has a 70% chance to KO Magnezone. If Dragapult gets 2 Wormwinds onto the Snorlax, dropping it to +4, and it's bulky, the Max Darkness off a Darkest Lariat still KOs a Dynamax Dragapult.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. If we are able to G-Max replenish a typical Terrakion that hasn't Dynamaxed, it doesn't matter that it's a Rock type, it's going down. And yeah, Marowak is also a pretty bulky mon on defense, especially if you EV it to live in Trick Room. G-Max Snorlax is still taking that thing out too.
Yeah.
Now, on the defensive side, we are EV'd in such a way that the Dragapult only has like a 5% chance to 3-shot us with Max Wormwind. The Tracheon will only be able to 2-shot us, so we will live a close combat. We do live a +4 Rock Slide, and if we Dynamax and the Tracheon Max Rock Falls us for whatever reason, maybe predicting a switch into something, we actually live a +4 Max Rockfall with this Snorlax.
Hey,
if we're Dynamaxed.
Let's go.
Yeah. You might notice that we are Adamant Nature instead of Brave this week.
Mm-hmm.
The reason we are Adamant is because we are probably not going to be fighting in Trick Room. So if he brings Marowak, we are assuming that it will be a slow Marowak, perhaps min speed.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to outpace the Marowak outside of Trick Room. Also, if we get a Tailwind up, we probably outpace Magnezone, and we might outpace Thwackey as well, depending on how he EVs his Mon.
Right. Yeah, I think that Snorlax will hopefully put in a lot of the work for us. So really quick, now so that's basically the team that we're thinking of bringing, and I think it'll do us really well. Just taking a look again at the team preview, what are you predicting that you think are the 6 Mons that he's going to bring? What do you think he's going to be bringing? What do you think? What do you just think about his draft in general? You know, give us some thoughts.
Yeah.
Going into
So
this.
I honestly think Randolph had a very strong draft.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to get a pretty good core with Dragapult, Terrakion, and Redirection. The Hatterene is great for Trick Room plus Confusion hacks. He's got a Lightning Rod Mon with Marowak.
Who has Lightning Rod?
I have Lightning Rod.
If you guys have not seen that clip on Twitter of me self-lightning rodding it, I will put it in the description because it's a quality meme.
It's very amusing.
Yeah.
He also took the first tier 4 off the board and was probably the second best tier 4 in the draft, which is Thwacky. I'm sorry, Randolph, but we have the best tier 4 in the draft. That's Kang.
Go Team Kang!
but yeah, he also has untauntable Trick Room, besides with the Hatterene because of Magic Bounce, with Slowbro as well. And if he really wanted to, he might even be able to do some sort of Belly Drum Snorlax. Belly Drum Slowbro set, the way Moxie did his Slow King in week 1.
Whoa.
So we're not expecting it this week because we don't think the matchup is there, but it's definitely something to think about with this team. As far as the 6 that are coming, he has, I think he's brought at least 4 of the same Mons to the previous 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I am anticipating he's bringing Dragapult, Terrakion, Volcarona, Thwacky, Hatterene, and I feel like Magnezone will be the 6th one, but it could be Marowak too.
Right. Yeah, something I'm definitely going to try and work on for this week is to not freak out if it's not according to plan. But I think one of the scariest things about this team is there's so much versatility. You know, there's so many different strategies he can go with, and sometimes it feels like it comes all down to lead. Like, you really have to get yourself out of a bad position that if we lead incorrectly or if he leads a certain way that I'm not expecting. But that goes vice versa, to where if we have a really strong lead against what he brings, like, that could just make or break the game, you know? So yeah, that's pretty much our overview for our team builder. Patrick, is there anything else that you wanted to mention to everyone before we wrap things up here?
We kind of started off slow with a pretty hard schedule with Cybertron, the defending WBE champion, and Moxie. But I have a feeling the back end of our schedule is going to be Stepho's anime redemption arc.
Yes! Oh, it's gonna happen. Guys, I'm hoping that we can take this W. You can tell that we're recording this before my match, but it is not over for us yet. And honestly, I've been getting so much more comfortable with the team as like the weeks have been going on. So I have a good feeling. I have a good feeling that we're not out just yet. So I'm totally with it. I'm feeling the good vibes. I'm so ready for it.
Never count out the underdog, guys.
Yeah, so Patrick, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you guys enjoyed this team builder special. Let me know in the comments down below, do you like them being its own separate video? Would you rather be in the same video? I mean, I could always pre-record this and then add it on to the day it's also released, so you guys let me know what you prefer. I thought it'd be cool to kind of get us a little hyped before the day of release. And of course, please do me a big favor if you guys are not following at Pedons on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter as well. Just go do that. Patrick has spent so much time helping me and just giving me a lot of really good advice. And so seriously, again, also shout out to everyone else who's in my front office as well. I love them as much. Everyone's really, really great. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on game day this Sunday.